Hi, okay, it's Daryl. It's Thursday. It is coming up on noon here, Thursday in Connecticut on the East Coast. There's going to be a little confusion today. This is the second video. I took down the first video, and this is the remake because I have more to say. I've been researching, and I have more to talk about Canon Hinnant, the 5-year-old boy who was summarily executed by this man. This kid was riding his bike and the man shot him, killed him, and it was a black man. I have heard about this story for a while now. I wanted to just let it rest in peace. I didn't want to talk about it. I don't want to use it myself. I don't want to enter the political stream of talk. I don't want to use this boy's death as a political pawn. I got to talk about it now because the conservative side, the Trump supporters, the anti-Black Lives Matter people, more and more, to a ridiculous amount today, are coming out here on social media. I just ran into, while I was on my bike, I stopped at a garage and there was 3 men talking, and they were mentioning this story. And then they started talking about, how come there's no riots now? How come, you know, what about this poor kid? And it made me so furious. I need to talk about this. I did not want to talk about it. It's a terrible, hideous story. This boy did nothing wrong, did not deserve this. I can't even imagine what his family feels like, okay? Now, this was a black man with a gun that killed him. I'm assuming this man had mental illness, some mental problems. That's, in my book, it's not an excuse. This person, when found guilty through the system of justice, he has been caught. They know who he is. He's arrested. He's in jail, and he's going to face trial. That's what we call justice here in America. That's what it is. It's justice, and I'm going to assume that he's going to, without a doubt, he will spend the rest of his life in prison, if not get the death penalty. So I didn't see any need to talk about this story. This is our form, this is our system of justice, and it's being carried out as it should. Therefore, there are no riots, because our system, if there's something wrong with that you don't like about this man was caught, was arrested, he's going to face trial, and his sentence will be carried out. I don't understand why anybody would have a problem with that. That's our system of justice here in America. Yet, we have conservative people saying, well, Black Lives Matter, there's all these riots when this piece of crap, George, I'm not saying this here, this is what I heard today in the garage, this piece of crap, George Floyd, was killed by this other piece of crap cop, and look at these riots we have. No, we have riots because there was no justice, because these white policemen are getting off with murder, because they're not being held accountable. That is why there's riots. It's not just the death of a person. It's the death of the person and no justice, seemingly, that the system we have here with a white majority isn't interested in persecuting white policemen or policemen in general. It's Trump's law and order thing where policemen can get away with murder. That's why there was riots. I didn't want to talk about this story, like I said. First of all, let me make my point clear. Canon Hinnant, I wanted to make sure I knew his name. I see all these conservative, these Trump, they're not even conservatives. They are trash Trump supporters getting on here, and I've already seen 2 videos where these guys, just like me, white guys, they start crying. Where's the riots? And they're crying, you know, there's no tears, but they're pretending to cry. There should be riots for this kid. The Black Lives Matter, you know, how come there's no justice for this boy? Yes, there is justice. It's being carried out. And I don't know if you want I guess you're talking about lynching this black guy. I'm assuming that's what you really want here. That's not the system we have right now. If Trump gets another 4 years, it wouldn't surprise me, but that's not the system we have right now. So I've been seeing this over and over each day, and I've tried not to talk about it because I don't want to use the death of Canon Hinnant for any political purpose. But it's getting overwhelming now, more and more, the last 2-3 days. And today is just ridiculous with these Trump supporters, these anti-Black Lives Matter, these people that say all lives matter. These people saying, where's the riots? Where's the riots for this poor executed white boy? What they're also implicating here is that, well, black people, they're not so innocent. Look what this guy, look what this terrible guy with a gun did. What they're saying here is, you know, cops have a right to search all black men. That all black men are guilty because look at this one right here. Look what he did. Therefore, Black Lives Matter movement is void, null and void, and the police are right. Whenever they grab any black man off the street, they're right. Because look, this one black guy right here had a gun, and look what he did with it. We should be rioting. We should be hanging every black person in town. That's what they're saying. It makes me furious. I didn't want to talk about this because their argument is so pointless, so without merit. They're asking, where's the riots? Where's the uproar for this murdered white boy? Yes, there's an uproar. It was a hideous act. White kids get murdered every day. Black kids get murdered every day. People get murdered every day. And it's terrible. This man was immediately caught and identified because of the insane act he committed in front of everybody. There was no doubt who it was, and he was immediately caught, arrested, presumably read his rights per our system, and put in jail while waiting trial. That is American justice. Now, unless you're advocating pitchforks and hanging and lynching without trial, just hang them up. Hey, in some cases, people might want to do that. There's a lot of terrible things that are going on in this world, but that is not justice, and we know that in our hearts, all right? We have a form of justice for everyone. Across the boards, you're arrested, you read your rights, you're given the opportunity to defend yourself, you're innocent until proven guilty. This is the way America works for everybody, hopefully. The Black Lives Matter movement is because that's not happening for a large group of African American men, especially young men, women, but especially young men. And that's why there's riots. That's why there's the whole Black Lives Matter movement. It's not just about the singular death of George Floyd. It's about the fact that these police, these law enforcement officials have been getting away with this over and over. If you watch that George Floyd video, this is what the anger is about. That policeman is kneeling on this black man's neck. Now, he is a law enforcement official. He's not just some person with a mental illness. We hired him to protect us, to uphold our laws. And the people that were watching him do this are hired by us to uphold our laws. And he was kneeling on this man's neck, watching him die, as were all the policemen in that circle. The people we hire. Another reason there was this uproar, there's an uproar in the whole Black Lives Matter movement. This happens over and over. People getting shot in the back. These 3 black kids, just recently, chased down the street by a mentally unstable Hispanic man, I believe, with a knife. Police show up. The man with the knife doesn't appear to be around. So immediately the police see 3 black kids, get them at point blank range with the guns, felony position, on the ground, handcuffed, read their rights, and they are the victims. Why? Because of the color of their skin. This is why, if I need to keep explaining to you guys, this is the reason for the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, let me talk about one more thing here. I see some black men on social media saying that black people are fake because they're saying that they grew up in the hood and they're more worried about other black people coming and shooting them if they disrespect them. And they're saying, you people are fake, you know, that this whole Black Lives Matter movement. Well, and I assume he's a black man that's a Trump supporter. He has his right to his opinion, and I don't know what he's gone through in his life. But as a white guy, I got my opinion. And I don't like seeing this. I don't like seeing these Karens and Kens calling the cops on black people just going about their business. I'm upset with the way other people are treated. It's called empathy. And just because I'm not black, I can be angry about it too. And I can have an opinion about it too. And I don't like the way a lot of law enforcement officers are operating these days. I don't like the way a lot of white people look at any black person as a criminal. I don't like that. That's my opinion, and I have a right to it. And I support Black Lives Matter. Now, I hope you understand what I'm saying here. I don't, like I said, I did not want to talk about Canon Hinnant. To his family, I give the utmost prayers, respect, and wishes. I'm so sorry of what you had to see and go through. I didn't want to even make this video. I didn't want to bring this up in this kind of situation. But a lot of anti-Black Lives Matter people, a lot of Trump supporters are using this as trying to make some equation between Black Lives Matter and the death of Cannon. Now, like I said, what happened to Cannon was terrible, hideous. But justice is running its course. Therefore, everybody has a right to be outraged at what was committed, but justice is taking its due course with the man that committed this atrocity. Therefore, you can't equate this to Black Lives Matter. There's no connection there at all. And when you try to do that, you're dismissing the whole Black Lives Matter movement. You're showing your racism right there. What you're trying to say is we white people should rise up and just lynch any black person we see because look what this black guy did to this white kid. Pretty much what you're saying. That's what I'm getting from you. Now, man, those days are over. And with the Black Lives Matter movement, hopefully they're going to be pushed out and gone for good. And like I said, just because I'm Native American and white doesn't mean I can't be involved in it. Doesn't mean I can't support it. Doesn't mean I can't have an opinion about it just like everybody else. All right? You guys have a good Thursday.